being a young adult in 2018 can be rather confusing. My generation is often harshly criticized by those who came before us. We are called lazy, entitled, and accused of having a lack of empathy for others. Now, while there is a valid point to be made about the declining work ethic of people my age, I think that a lot of criticisms are made generally unfairly by older folks. One of the most common that I've heard is that the internet, Hollywood, and video games have desensitized us to violence, and therefore we don't care when other people get hurt. These things are often stated with a smug kind of, well, back in my day, sort of arrogance. But if you look at the world historically, I simply don't believe those criticisms to be valid. If I say the words ancient Rome, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You're probably thinking about the Colosseum, or perhaps those who fought within it, the gladiators. In its glory days, the Roman Empire was one of the largest in the known world, and one of the most popular forms of entertainment for noblemen and commoner alike were gladiatorial games. In these games, men and beasts would be made to fight to the death for the entertainment of the crowd. Now, I don't know about you, but I cannot imagine something like that ever happening in today's world. You might object to this argument with something like, oh no, but that happened in the ancient world. As time passed, we became much more civilized. I beg to differ, however. For you see, long after Rome fell, and even hundreds of years into the so-called Age of Enlightenment, public hangings were once commonplace. Convicted criminals would be rounded up, chained together, and led to the gallows, where they would be hung by the neck until dead, for all the world to see. The aristocracy used public executions as a way to display their power. They were a very simple and stark message. If you go against the established order, this is what will happen to you. When I was a child, if I watched a particularly gruesome horror movie, I would have trouble sleeping for a week. I cannot imagine what it would do to my psyche to see a body twitching and dangling at the end of a rope. And yet, in the days of public executions, children witnessed this all the time. I'm not naive about human nature or the way that it plays out in real life today. I live in South Africa, which has one of the highest rates of violent crime on the planet. It's become part of our daily routine to hear prominent political figures call for violent retribution against those they consider to be the enemy of the people. Furthermore, in the Arab world, public stonings and execution by being thrown from rooftops still happens on a regular basis. So it's not as if we have all suddenly become peaceful and harmonious and would never do each other any harm. However, on the whole, I believe that it is completely inaccurate to claim that our world is now more violent than it once was. If you've enjoyed my little historical rant, then I would encourage you to consider becoming a supporter of mine on Patreon. However, if monthly support isn't your thing, I gladly accept once-off contributions via PayPal. For now, farewell.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.